Thank you so much for joining us. A beautiful day, always amazing. And happy new month to everybody. I said, I don't follow me, sit down for Inside the Studio. We could begin to talk about things we get to do with the development of our country. My name is Precious King, and this is Updated Precious. It's always a pleasure to be with you every day to discuss salient issues that's got to do with the growth of our nation, Nigeria. And today, now the first day of the month of May, as usual, we're very excited. But even as May don't reach like this, things still they happen for inside our country. There are terrorism threats everywhere. People are dying. People are being killed. Which way we go for inside this country? Because as the matter take be like this, it gets as it take be. So let's delve right into the pressing issues shaping Nigeria's future. Today, we will explore the nation's challenges, rising poverty, soaring cost of living, and escalating insecurity. Amidst the hustle and bustle and the turmoil of politics in Nigeria, we'll also examine the impact of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's economic reforms, especially as he done they spend 2 years in office now, because now this month, at the 29th of May, now it will reach 2 months, and also government responses to the growing security crisis. So, would be joined by an amazing guest today on the show. But before I introduce my guest, I have to let you in a little bit on who he is because you know go they complete if I not tell you on who my guest be. Without saying so much, but I'd like to let you know that my guest today is the youngest presidential candidate in the history of Nigeria, having run for the office of president in 2011 at the age of 40. He was the first person to do so. He has not given up on his unrepentant faith in Nigeria. Hence the reason I brought him to this conversation. And of course, in the potentials that are bound in this country. He is a founder, initiator of various platforms promoting the unity and progress of Nigeria, and a viable partner in the notable, visible partner rather, in the notable national initiative. That is the Nigeria Unity in Diversity Challenge. That is, he believes strongly in a unity in diversity. He is a recipient of numerous socio-political and humanitarian awards, a patron of many professional, youth-based gender equality, women-based organizations, and he is very actively engaged in the arts, charity, and human development. My guest today, ladies and gentlemen, is Professor Chris Mustafa Mukobia. Yes, thank you so much for joining us, Professor Chris Mukobia. Thank you so much for being in the studio. Good evening, sir, and welcome. Can you hear me, sir? Hello, sir. Oh no, I can't be doing this network issue thing today. Good evening, sir. Can you hear me, please? I'd like to be sure that you can hear me. Hello? Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, sir? Oh, I don't want to believe network will do this to us today. I am so ready for this. But whilst I try to sort out that with my guests, let me quickly remind you of some stuff that's happened today. So today is Workers' Day, clearly May Day. Workers across the country are pushing demands for extension of retirement age from 60 to 65 years old. So you think, say, the federal government go answer them. After all, person will be your president, if he be 90 or 100 years old, it no matter. So if age limit no day to be president, why age limit go come day to be for workers, right? That's what one of the reasons they're pushing. Your Senate President Godswill Akpabio has disassociated himself or distanced himself from Professor Ogban, where he be say they don't carry go, where they don't sentence to 3 years imprisonment for rigging election in his favor as is to be a senator, for rigging that senatorial seat election in his favor. Now, Senate President talk say, I not getting anything to do with Amo. I know Amo, he no know me, oh, we no work together. And then workers are nation's engine, not tools, Atiku Abubakar tells federal government. So no, they use them like tools, and them be the engine of the society. Now, speaking about the president's son, Sheyi Tinubu, and his rumored gubernatorial ambition, that is away from what is going on with National Association of Nigerian Students. Lagos APC, GAC, right now in dilemma over his Guba ambition. We'll let you in on all of this, but let me see if I can take a quick break and get my just guest rejoin us. I'll be right back. Stay with us. This is the Evening Rush with Precious.
I
In case you
remember
missed some
when
of those stuff
Buhari
in
came up.
politics,
Oh,
let's play
Buhari
this for
can
you.
never
Just hang
win
on a minute.
election
I'll
in
be right back.
Nigeria. Oh, he was a dictator. Oh, he was a tyrant. Why did Buhari make it that time? Necessity. Necessity is always the mother of invention. It will not happen until it has been tried and tested. And so let's see what happens. Let me tell you, I have a theory, and the theory is simple, that Tinubu can only be countered this time by a northerner. Any southerner telling you, I want to contest against Tinubu, is going to waste his time.
No, but Tinubu doesn't want to leave the position.
No.
He wants a second term.
And so that's why I'm telling you.
Southerners
So,
are
and the
saying, we want him
PDP,
there.
and the PDP or coalition or whatever you call them also want power. And the only way they can get power is to go by Isaac Newton's theory of actions and reactions are always equal and opposite. So they will come from the opposite direction. I can guarantee you that. Who will be the person? I don't know. If they attempt, I hear some Yoruba person says he wants to contest. He's a guy I like, a governor, Governor Seyi Makinde. But I know that at the end of the day, that cannot happen. It cannot happen. So what will then happen is that the North, who are the people, and when you look at, in fact, when I look at the configuration of Tinubu's cabinet today and all his appointments, you will see that, oh, people will say, okay, he's appointing Yoruba people because he's a Yoruba man. But it's not even about Yoruba, it's about his own personal cronies. Most of them. Cronyism has crept into our politics, and the North is naturally aggrieved that, Oga, we thought we support you. Our man was the president. The man left, you started attacking him, as if forgetting that another election cycle will soon come. They were all abusing Buhari. So definitely the North will want to field their own candidate. And the way the Okowas are going about it, turning this thing into a southern affair, we made that mistake during June 12th. When we turned the national mandate of Abiola into a Yoruba mandate, it is the same error of judgment that I see Tinubu's people committing right now. The moment you start emphasizing that those who are decamping, because everybody decamping now, they are from the south. I'm sure maybe they will be able to coerce a few people in the north.
People have decamped from Kano.
Okay.
NNPP, led by Senator Smaila Kawu.
When my brother and friend, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso decamps, then I know he's planning.
So very quickly, I don't know if you watched that interview between the media personnel, or media person to media aide to the FCT minister today, and at Arise on Arise Television. It was just, I don't know. I'd like to really take your thoughts and reactions on this, but whilst our guests try to rejoin us, so a lot of things happened. Like the guy came in, to lambast and finish Dele Momodu. I don't know why Ibise incoming with that intention to attack Dele Momodu. For whatever reason, I do not know. But it was crazy. I thought I would have played you excerpt of it, but we'll look at that in the course of this conversation. But let's go to some other issues very quickly whilst our guest tries to join us today on the show. So I did tell you earlier that tensions are reportedly growing right now within the Lagos State chapter of the All Progressives Congress, because as it be like this, then they vex for each other. They say, what's if they happen? What's if they happen? Because some people are not agreeing. And this is because of Sheyi Tinubu's ambition to be the next Lagos State governor. Right. Okay. So this is rumored, So at just 29 years old, Sheyi Tinubu is being tipped by several youths and diaspora groups as the next ideal candidate to lead Lagos State. Now, his endorsement from the coalition of Nigerian youth leaders, the Future Platform, and some Nigerian communities abroad have given wind to speculation that they will soon throw him into the race, to become. If I not be throwing one, they thought saying him be the candidate, he's gonna win. It doesn't matter whether you vote or not. Sheyi Tinubu will be the will be the governor of Lagos State. I beg your pardon. Now, although he has yet to come a formal declaration. He never declared it. Insiders say underground efforts to lobby for his candidacy are already in full gear. They don't lobby him already. They don't lobby for him to be the next candidate already. You know, say Sonwolu now second term in the donor, he doesn't have anything to lose. So if say Sheyi Tinubu 39 emerges as governor in 2027, he would set a new record as the youngest person to lead Lagos State since its creation in 1967. Now, currently, the record is held by Babatunde Fashola, who became governor at the age of 43 in 2007. But far from being met with a resounding welcome, the development has placed the party and its leadership in a very difficult position. So right now, a lot of people they in disagreement over whether or not Ingo fit to become the next governor of Lagos State. I think I just was reading this. Professor Chris Nkobe, can you hear me, sir? Professor Chris Nkobe, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well. I can hear you.
Can
There's
you
a
hear me?
echo from your end. I think it's sorted out. Yes, I can. Can you help me put your phone on rotate? Yes, I can. Can you help me put your phone on rotate so that when you
I should do it on landscape or
so that when you it should
how
be on
should I do
landscape
it?
way. So
On
Igbo,
landscape?
put it on rotate. So go to the from the top of your phone, put it on landscape. Sorry, put it on rotate. So that when you turn it on landscape, you can. Put it on rotate. You can turn.
Okay.
When you turn it on landscape, you can.
Okay, let me check.
Rotate your screen that says so. Auto rotate, something like that. Rotate your screen that's like that on your screen.
That's what I'm trying to go to rotate. I can't find it.
You just scroll down from the top. You just scroll down from the top of your screen downwards. And I don't know where I'm hearing this. I don't know. Is there any other sound on? Do you have another device? Do you have another device you're listening with?
The device, I should.
Because there's an echo. If there's a second device you're listening to, please kindly help us turn it off. Just leave the one that you're joining me with on, because there's an echo.
Yeah.
Second device you're listening to, please kindly help us turn it. So we're fine. This is good, sir. Maybe we should do what, sir? Maybe we should do what, sir? You want to try another device? Okay, let's see if we try it. You want to try another device? Okay, so let's see. Okay, so this is good. This is good. This is clearer and better. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, fantastic. So this is very good. All right, sir. So let's get straight into it. Today is the 1st of May, 2029. In 2025, I beg your pardon. And in the next 28 days, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu would have served 1 year, in 2 years rather, in office. I like to feel your pulse on what his administration has been like so far. If you talk about pidgin English, because here we mix up so that we fit appeal to the grassroots. So if you mix the English. Did you hear that, sir? Did you hear me, sir? Can you hear me, sir? Did you hear what I said?
No, yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I said in the next 28 days, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu would have been 2 years in office.
That's right.
Tell me what you think about in administration so far. Yes. What do you think about in administration so far?
Well, I think first that Nigerians expected so much from the government, but very unfortunately, not be what we think say this government would do. Now I'm the government they do. Very unfortunately, um, this government is about more talk and less action. Very unfortunately, the policy trust of the government doesn't seem to cater to the expectations and aspirations of the Nigerian people. Very unfortunately, those who are standing on the mandate of Bola Ahmed Tinubu have unfortunately learned how to keep quiet because um, if you want to talk about national security, the government don't fail woefully. If you want to talk about economy and the standard of living, you they hear me?
I did hear you crystal clear. They're very clear. They hear you.
If you want to
Go ahead,
talk
sir.
about the economy and the standard of living, it's an all-time low. And what is most troubling and worrisome now the very recent assessment from the IMF and the World Bank when talks say between now and 2027, if something serious is not done, over 10 million Nigerians will enter serious poverty. That's beyond what is happening now. And then when you look at the value of the naira or the strength of the naira, it gives everyone cause to worry. So
We are hearing your
almost
windows.
2 years into the Bola, even say that it has done well, you know. And the one when the worry me pass now say 2 years ago, Nigerians said that Buhari was a colossal failure. 2 years ago, people
Mm-hmm.
talk say Buhari not know what to do. But very unfortunately, 2 years into the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu regime or administration, people are beginning to go to see Buhari. People are beginning to go to Kaduna, to Daura. And Tinubu's failure has seemingly made Buhari a star. And that's what bothers me. That's what troubles so many people who believe that Nigeria should be doing better than it is doing now.
Okay, so the president make a lot of promises when he dey come into power. He promise say he will give people electricity no matter what, and say in fact if he no give us electricity, no one no vote for him. But we saw electricity tariff going up by 330% since he come inside power and since he enter in administration. And of course, he talk say by all means necessary. Say the fear when they talk say the way he did now that period that fuel scarcity was that he believed that there was fuel scarcity because of his elections or his ambition at that time. He promised he was going to make fuel available. We know how much. In fact, now inside this government, when Nigerians don't buy fuel 1 liter for almost 1,500 or 2,000, and for this government, now it happen because even with the expensive fuel, it can't the cost well. Now inside this in government, where many things don't happen to Nigeria. As somebody will be Democrat and people on the suffer, we say in be Democrat, in follow for people we fight for democracy. How do you take see as in they use exhibit that democratic tenets for inside in governance?
No, let me uh, say very clearly that what we have seen in 2 years, they bother everybody, because along with some of us, Bola Ahmed Tinubu fought on the side of Nadeco. We all fought for a democracy that, as it were, should make life better for our people. But very unfortunately, like you noted, under an administration, the poor man is getting poorer. Like you also noted, electricity tariff don't go off.
by
That's
by
you.
330%.
It's very
And wages and wages
worrisome.
and wages and wages don't increase by that percentage. So go ahead,
Make
sir.
I shock you now. If if you were on 30,000 naira per month 30 years, 3 years ago, that 30,000 naira is bigger and of greater value than 100,000 naira today because of the inflation. And so you ask yourself, because this government, they talk say they don't increase minimum wage. Interestingly, today in our workers' day, they say they don't increase minimum wage from 30,000 naira to, in some states, 70,000 naira, in some others, 80,000 naira. But you ask yourself, when workers were being paid 30,000 naira, bag of rice not be 80,000 naira, not be 70,000 naira. Bag of rice was far less. Now the value of the minimum wage has come down on account of inflation. Then you talk about fear, the cost of transportation. Even that 70,000 naira when they say that they give now cannot even take workers to their place of work for a month. That's how much this government have failed in improving the standard of living of the people. And as you and I did talk, the one that bothers me so badly is that when this president they campaigned some 2 years ago, he tell us say if we not fit fix electricity, make we not vote for him again.
I
But
get evidence. Make I
unfortunately
play the
now then
evidence.
don't
Make
begin
I
that.
play.
Yeah, I'll send you the it's on tape. It's
I
on
get them.
record.
I
It's
get them.
not.
Make I play. If you be like say go
Uh-huh.
take just help me pause. Make I play. Make people copy remember.
By
Say na your
all
mouth talk
means
am. You know be like
necessary,
say na me and you
That's
they talk
correct.
am. Make they see
Mm.
am.
But now, as me and you they talk, if
you
you
must have
listen to
electricity.
them, they say they won't spend 10 billion to do solar for Abuja.
Mm,
You know, I don't
mm.
know if you can see me because it'll be like say NEPA don't hear say when they talk about electricity.
That
They don't
same
take light here
electricity. Hold
now.
on.
You know, that's a tragedy of the Nigerian state.
Mm.
It be like say they don't rest. So I get to maybe pause and then ask them to put my gen on. That's how bad it is in our country, you
So,
know. And then when you talk to people about the need to make government responsible and responsible to the people, people go tell you say then they stand on a mandate. I ask them, is it the blood-soaked mandate? Is it the poverty-ridden mandate? Is it the
mm.
bloodstained mandate? Go to Jos, people can't walk freely anymore.
Hey.
Go to Bonu Medugri. The Boko Haramists have returned in fierce tendencies. Go to Benue, people cannot live in their ancestral homes. And then you go ask yourself, these people when they talk say then they stand on a mandate. Do they have a soul? You know, workers are hungrier than they were 2 years ago. Uh, businesses are folding up everywhere. And then you ask yourself, what kind of people do we have in this country? So I want to say that importantly, we must begin to address issues
Um. Oh dear.
about
Network is at it again. One of the many things we need to work. So you dey skip, sir. You
leadership.
dey hear me? You're skipping.
Importantly,
So
it's time to make our
okay.
country.
Go ahead. You skipped for a moment, so for a half a minute. Okay, it's bad again. That's what we get to face in Nigeria when you have virtual conversations like this. You could just get this kind of thing back to back to happen. So make I quickly play that video where the president they promise us light. Make we look what I go fix. Um,
By
restore
all means
electricity
necessary,
back again because obviously we need to hear 'em.
you must have electricity. And you will not pay for estimated bill anymore. A promise made will be a promise kept. If I couldn't keep the promise
Hello?
and I come back for second term, don't vote for me. That's the truth.
Okay.
Unless
All
I
right,
give
sir.
you
So your
adequate reason.
network been hang for a while. So I say make I play that video while I did wait for you to for the network to restore.
Oh,
So you were saying something, and you know
okay,
what
but
you
can you hear
touch
me
on there
now?
well. You talk, say, yes, very well. I dey hear you well. Now you talk say when people say that they stand on the mandate, and that mandate where be say Pastor Bakare call international song of psychophants and international anthem of psychophancy. Now waiting they call them. But you say a blood-soaked mandate. That one touch me well. If it explain further, I know say you mentioned Benue, Plateau killings and all that. But why again why they call that mandate blood-soaked? Because not be President Tinubu now caused the killings. So why you call them blood-soaked mandate?
Yeah, because if the mandate is credible, it go to protect the Nigerian people. You know, say the first responsibility of government, according to the constitution, now the preservation, the protection of lives and property. You know, that's the major responsibility of government. But sadly, government has failed to protect and safeguard the Nigerian people. You know, so when they cannot do that, what we are compelled to to call the government is because everywhere now they don't democratize. Instead of democratizing wealth and employment and better amenities, what they have democratized is bloodshed, turning human barbecues everywhere. Uh, as
Oh,
as you and I
that is
talk,
human being don't become meat, don't become suya. What did they chop?
that's how bad
Oh,
it is. That's how bad it is. And so, if we want to make our country move and go forward, we have to raise the bar. We must stop thinking and talking about politics in terms of parties. We must stop talking about religion and ethnicity as the fundamental issues, and then talk about how people live comfortably in our country. Say if government don't fail to protect and preserve lives and properties, then there's a major problem, and this government has failed to do that. Then, if you also understand the fact that fuel, like we talked before, most Nigerians they produce their own electricity. Then they use fuel and small generator they take survive. Now
yes.
there's no money to even buy that fuel. So their businesses are folding up by the day. As you and I talk, the story about the daily life of the Nigerian people is one of pain and poverty. And then one thing when I want to make our listeners understand, you say, before now, Nigerians know they take suicide as the way to solving problems. But as you and I they talk, you go find out say everywhere in this country, you go hear say person jump from Third Mainland Bridge into the lagoon. You go hear say person take sniper. Across our country, the story is bad. So it's not about we're not talking politics. We're talking reality. And the time has come for those who truly care about our country, statesmen and well-meaning Nigerians. The time has come for those who care about our country, the clergy, like you talked about, Pastor Tunde Bakari's Easter Day broadcast, and people across our country should wake up and ask government to be responsible and responsive to the people. That's the minimum we should begin to do as a people. As we gradually move to the second half of this government, from the May 29th, it will be 2 full years of this administration. The story is not interesting at all. So it don't reach time when we go begin ask Mr. President and those when they govern our country, enough of propaganda.
Eh?
Do what we call enough of
Propaganda be there
propaganda
before.
and do
Propaganda be there
service to
before.
the people. Now,
Propaganda
na
be there
propaganda
before.
everywhere. Na
Why you
propaganda
call am
everywhere.
propaganda? Why you call am propaganda?
Then tell us say then they fix Nigeria. Say the economy will go get better. That the naira will get strong. That there will be fuel and the price of fuel after they remove subsidy after some time will come down. Everything they have promised us has proven to be a lie. So now propaganda. Everything when they tell us na lie. Then tell us say the health minister tell us a small time now people go begin come Nigeria come treat themselves. Almost every 2 months, the president now they go France and go United Kingdom go treat himself, and the medical tourism never reduce. So I think that the time has come for us to begin to ask this government to be truthful to uh, each citizen, and the time don't reach also for us to ask the people because it takes responsible followership to challenge leadership to responsible action. We must begin to say to Mr. President and to those who are part of this government that beyond propaganda, the time for progressive leadership and responsible service to the nation and to the people is now.
Okay. Now I like the fact that you mentioned progressive. These people call themselves progressives, or the people we in chat now say they be progressives. And the president see himself as person way they progressive for in mind, and the way in approach to politics. And now you dey talk saying more of propaganda, right? But let's look at some other issues. As a progressive, we know say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I don't want to say thrive on him be very good opposition because we see how he use handle in relationship with former President Olusegun Obasanjo when they get problem. We see how use handle in issue. In fact, how they use common good luck Jonathan from government and make sure say in no way. But how you think say the president also did that progressive in mind and democratic in mind as he they use handle dissenting voices for inside this in administration. And if he know they tell us why and what we go fit do about them as Nigerians because a lot of people don't they like say they fear now. They don't want to come out come protest again because they will say, oh, if they go fit charge underage, what they don't go fit do people. So let me get your reaction, sir.
Let me say first that what thing we they see everywhere now, they show to us whether, and that's why people they ask, this president will follow fight the military, will follow fight for democracy, when no one did democratic. I've been a wayo do all of us. I've been a one chance, because people are beginning to ask questions, and some of us when follow the trenches with them when we dey fight against IBB, fight against Abacha, fight for responsible and responsive leadership. Also, they wonder, say whether or not be this same Bola Ahmed Tinubu will follow us, will follow support Nigerians in exile. Now they do this because one of the very painful things when we dey see be say this government not even want make people like you noted protest against them. This government, as people they ask for responsible and responsive leadership, then go they pay people to go protest against those when they ask for good governance. And then now also under this government and the campaign, we see fake bishops and fake pastors. So if the people they do the correct thing, then go they imitate the fake routine. So you go ask yourself, say, this government and these people will call themselves progressives, are they truly progressive? And that's why I'm saying that the time don't reach when instead of propaganda, it is about service and making governance and leadership responsible to the people. And if this government not fit do am, what did Nigerians get to do, like you asked, not to begin organize. I have always told people that instead of agonizing, what we need to do is to organize for to vote out leadership when they're not they responsible and responsive to the people. And then to support leadership when they are responsible and responsive to the people. And very unfortunately, what we get now, not the responsible and responsive to the people. So we'll go get ready as a people instead of crying, instead of agonizing. Make we begin organize. 2027 not too far. At least we don't reach the second half of this government in a few, like you noted, in about 28 days this government will be 2 years old. The
Absolutely.
time don't reach for us to begin to ask government, the APC, which I call a party of pseudo progressives now, because we have come to see that all the promises when they make, they're not they keep. So the time don't reach for Nigerians to begin to organize and to make fundamental demands on leadership with their ballot. I call them the time for a ballot-based revolution don't come when Nigerians go use their thumbprint instead of violence, then go use their tongue, say no to bad leadership. And one of the things when they ask for now a new regime of electoral transparency. We must begin to ask the National Assembly and all those who care, including the media, to begin to push for the National Assembly to amend the Electoral Act so that we go fit get um, uh, electronic voting so that we go fit get a situation also when INEC, not be all this one when INEC go tell us say waiting day their IREV, not be the correct thing because they want manipulate election. We want a situation where the new electoral act will make it mandatory for INEC to follow the process to the letter, and that is when results don't they go up to the IREV, those results must be deemed trustworthy and credible. Not be all this one. Remember for the last election when result don't they come out for IREV, it be say Obi don't they win. People begin say no, don't trust the IREV, don't trust the IREV. Meanwhile, na INEC IREV. So we need electoral law when go be such that any result when they upload from the units will be deemed credible and trustworthy. And it not going to be like what happened for the last federal presidential election in 2023 or what happened for Edo in 2024. The time has come for the Nigerian people to ask for credible, transparent, free and fair elections. And if we have that, you go find out this many of these politicians when they jump from party to party, not go there on our political stage. Many of them cannot win an election except through rigging. And if we have credible elections, it could be say the will of the people will come tops. It could be say what the people want now go happen. And that's what we're pushing for. And that's why we're asking that the media, the civil society, the National Assembly, uh, all stakeholders should follow in nudging the National Assembly to amend the Electoral Act.
Okay. Now, speaking about what we need to do, we all know,
You hear
say,
me?
yes, I did hear you very well. I don't know whether you did hear me. You did hear me, sir. You did hear me, sir. You did hear me. I need to sure so you did hear me. Can you hear
I
me?
dey hear
Right.
you.
You
I dey
just talk
hear you
about saying what we need to
very
do
well.
to notch the National Assembly, make them change the Electoral Act, as in, revamp the Electoral Act. So just get one for 2023. Oh. Now just 2020. In fact, 2022, now they just say accent one Electoral Act. And already we don't get problem inside. With the body language of the president, you think, say, this present National Assembly as constituted go fit amend Electoral Act in a way where we say it no go favor President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to win election. And if this National Assembly no go fit do am, wetin we need to do? Because I get another question where I get to ask you. People like Patu Tomi don't come and talk, say dem wan carry waka protest enter inside Abuja, raise a 7.2 million man protest, make them press on National Assembly to do a make pro people laws wey go effect the right changes for inside our constitution. But do you see them, obliging, understanding, say they the answer to the president based on what we don't see as them be now?
You see, my dear sister, you get within one of these great women, Margaret Mead, it took him long time ago. Say, nothing is as strong as a people's power. When people unite and say they want change society for good, that nothing is stronger than that reality. And not so people they take change the world. So I that what we must do, it is not about whether electoral act go favor the political class. It is whether it go favor our nation. What is important now is our nation. If you remember the name of the movement when I heard, na country first. It's about the
Yes.
people first. It's not about politicians. It's not about Tinubu. It's not about APC, PDP, or Labour Party. It should be about our country. Let me give you an instance. We'll there for one country when this great country when God created. People when they in diaspora, our brothers and sisters when they Oyibo land, then they send over $200 billion to Nigeria almost every year. And these same people not get right to vote. Which kind wayo be that? Then they support family and support everybody here. And that is why part of the movement for amendment to the Electoral Act is to allow for diaspora voting, is to allow for electronic voting, is to allow for premium time transmission of electoral election results from the units to the IREF to the center. Not be all these ones when they go say they go carry ballot boxes to local government or to state capital where politicians won't get money, they for do mago mago and will take change the results. So what we need is a people's movement, not violence, a people's movement, an agitation. You just noted about what my brother Pat told me they push for. He say he wants 7.2 million people to come from across this country to Abuja and to ask for responsible and responsive leadership.
From
That's
the
one of
National
the
Assembly.
strategies. That's one of the strategies to pressure the National Assembly to make laws that are people centric, make laws that will transform our country for good. And then my brother Shore is doing his own and pushing the revolution now philosophy. And some of us through our parties are asking for a nation that is responsible to its citizens. And I want to tell you the truth. There's nothing truer than that. There's nothing more definite than that. My late father told me a long time ago that if the forces of evil are stronger than the forces of good, our universe, our planet for don't fold up. But because good will always triumph over evil in the very end, that is why our planet, that is why you and I they talk now. I believe that if we continue to push and nudge, continue to galvanize and ask for responsible and responsive leadership, if we continue to push our people and ask them not to agonize, but to organize to ensure that leadership does the right thing, if we all unite at that place, refuse to allow religion and ethnicity to divide us, we will win because the people's power is stronger than those who are in power.
Okay. Again, I would like to ask how you think say we go fit achieve this push without protestation, without violence. Remember, say if you come out now say you carry placard, government go bring another people. Sorry, some other people go organize another people go carry their own placard. Come infiltrate your people. Come begin cause problem. You understand? We know what happened at enduring answers when government official vehicles carry young people them, we carry knives and guns and all that, scatter people will come protest. We don't even see end hunger protests. So if you say another people come to protest against people when they protest against hunger. I don't know whether you understand me. So how do you
I
how
understand you.
really how are you going to make this push? We go make sure say the thing will go well and government will be answered. Because it's important to
If
make
you
we understand.
remember very well, if you remember very well, you just mentioned the answers. The people who were protesting were peaceful until agents of state, until agents of the former government provoked violence.
As you
And
just talk
one of the
agent
things
of
that were,
darkness enter my head. It's okay.
mm, but what is important going forward as a people, now to continue to educate our people that we can peacefully through a ballot based revolution, we can organize effectively and make sure that governance becomes responsible to our people. And we can do so decently. I am one of the greatest fans of Nelson Mandela, who came out of prison and told people about the power of passive resistance, peaceful action. I am one of the mentees of one of the greatest black person when God created, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and who talked about conducting our protests with the highest level of decorum and saying no to violence. And I want to say this clearly that the Nigerian people who are truly, truly progressive have conducted protests since 2015 with the highest level of decorum. We've done that peacefully and we'll continue to do that. But one of the things we'll do to make sure that government does not provoke violence is to begin to call the international community and people across the world to observe our protests and our protestation, to observe our call for responsible and responsive leadership, and to be participants in the collective process of making leadership across the world responsible and responsive to the people. And I want to tell you that if we make effective use of the media, if we make effective use of the social media and the terrestrial media, if we make effective use of the clergy, Nigerians love the church, Nigerians love to go to mosques. If we get the clergy involved, our PFN, Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, uh, CAN, Christian Association of Nigeria, and then the various Islamic organizations across the country to be ideologically involved in the call for responsible and responsive government, knowing that poverty, hunger, not know whether you be Christian or Muslim, knowing that hunger not care whether you be Igbo, Yoruba, or Hausa, or any tribe, knowing that those when they kill people across this country, not care whether you be Christian, Muslim, or traditional worshiper, they just go killing and they enjoy to dish out human barbecues everywhere. If we understand this reality, then we will begin to, like I said, organize instead of agonizing. We will begin to teach our people about the need to organize our protests with the highest level of decency and decorum. And if we do that, I will tell you completely that nobody will shoot at the peaceful people, and nobody with his senses together will procure violence against a peaceful people, because
But
the world will be
Oga Chris
watching.
would, yes, Oga
The
Chris, but we
world will be
don't talk
watching.
am
We
now.
will
The
make
world
the
was
world
watching. The
part of
world
the
was
process.
watching. The world was watching during NSAS when they
So there was
sent
a
soldiers
little.
to infiltrate the people. Then where they protest. The world was watching during end bad governance when they
No,
also sent soldiers to infiltrate them.
let
So
me
what
tell
can we
you,
do?
let me tell you a bit of the difference, because if you understand that the NSAS protestation, my daughter was the one who coordinated most of the feeding, both at the Lekki toll gate and at the old toll gate in Keja.
Okay.
I was deeply involved with the young people in that process. And if when DJ Switch and several other people started shouting about the attempt by agents of state to provoke violence, if we took it to the world the way I'm talking about now, because I'm not denying the fact that you have agents of darkness everywhere, but if the agents of light organize and make sure that everything we're doing is in broad light, I'm speaking deeply now, that we're decent, that we have every level of decorum in our protestation, it will be difficult for these agents of darkness to infiltrate. And there is something that we're looking at. Look at the post protests after the election. You find out that there are places where Nigerians have gone out protesting and they have built human walls, private securities to protect. And it becomes difficult for the state agents and the thugs and touts to infiltrate. We are looking at how to ensure that every engagement of government will be with the highest level of decorum. With the effort to storm Abuja with 7.2 million people, we're also looking at how to ensure that we become the defense for our front lines. I'm speaking deeply. We go get people when private securities, people who are professional security experts, to join in protecting those who are protesting, because it don't reach time when we not go allow the government and the agents of darkness to provoke violence, and then when they start shooting at the people, they will say, "Oh, they bombed this. Oh, they didn't destroy this. Oh, that's why they're using force to protect the state." So I understand the sentiments about what happened during the NSAS, but I also insist that there are things that we can do to protect ourselves and our people in the cost of protestation.
Okay, all right. So that being said, but let's look at the politics in Nigeria right now, because even with whatever amendments we want to amend, you don't talk say it possible. Say the National Assembly go fit amend the Electoral Act so that we go fit get a better Electoral Act to go make us help us to vote for the right people. Again, let's look at the body language of the president. He don't do 2 years right now in office. At the end of on the 28th of this month, he go don't do 2 years in office, and with the killings where you talk, say human barbecues, they up and down. And waiting with the see now, na series of defection where the president they call a tsunami. You understand? Like saying that the Tinubu tsunami will make everybody they move to a political party and all that. How you take say all of these things to use help us? How you take say these things go play out inside the 2027 election? Whether or not we change the electoral act or we not change the electoral act, whether or not there's a coalition or no coalition. We're coming to coalition, but let me let you attend to this first, and we get straight to the coalition conversation.
Make you laugh. Um, when they call defections of political office holders a tsunami, you ask yourself, how many of them? I'm from Delta State. Uh, I know that there are more people in Delta State who are still in PDP, apart from a few government appointees. And I'm aware that one of the strongest and the longest serving PDP chairman in Delta State, Emmanuel Ogidi, is the acting PDP chairman today. He saw several governors in PDP. You know why I'm saying this? Because politicians know how to lie and drum up, and that is why, since those people defected from the PDP to the APC in Delta, they have not been able to sleep. I saw a video yesterday when some
Did they sleep
people
with
they
one eye?
show then they sleep with one eye. I see one video yesterday now when some APC boys they talk say they don't want to see any obedience for Delta again. Make obedience go Anambra as if P2B na Anambra people alone get them. I told people that one of the biggest political commodity in Nigeria today now Peter Gregory will be, and his followership is across the country. If you go to Lagos, the obedience won for Labour Party the election in 2023 in Lagos. And that happened in several parts of the country. And you and I know that the Tinubu presidency, when people they talk about, so Tinubu got, even with the INEC Wayo, got only about 8 million votes.
And I be the
Atiku got
president we
about
don't win
6
with
point.
the least. Now be the president we don't
He's
win
the
with the
only
least number of
we
votes
don't
for
get
inside
the least
Nigeria.
number of votes for our country,
Absolutely.
yes. So when people they talk about tsunami, you ask themselves, what is the definition of tsunami? How many people will be this tsunami? The truth is that without one governor, so now after P2B election, Alex Oti win Abia State. Without one
Absolutely.
governor, Peter Obi won the 2023 elections. Even with all the rigging, people see the truth. So whether they like, if all of them like, make them go APC. If the Nigerian people organize effectively, the so-called tsunami or hail of cross carpeting or decamping will pan to nothing. It will not influence anything because the people's power is the strongest power. And like I said initially, there is an old refrain, they say it's Vox Populi, Vox Dei. The voice of the people is the voice of God. And the truth is that an organized people, if we organize effectively, we'll pull a stronger people's revolution in 2027 than we did in 2023. It took only a few days, a few weeks. And remember that time when we did one, people say, oh, don't mind them. There are two, three people
Two
tweeting in a
tweeting from
room.
the room. I
Oh,
mean,
don't mind them. They are online. They cannot do anything on the streets. But at the end of the day, they found out that the voice of the people truly is stronger.
so you did waiting
Go
you
on.
just talk now. And that one where you talk just catch me. You talk something about
Hello.
Peter. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can hear
Hello, can
you.
you hear me?
I can hear you crystal clear, sir. I can hear you very well. I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me, sir. Make this network then not start
Very
again.
well, I can hear
Hey,
you.
all right, okay. So you did what you talk, we catch my
Okay then.
attention. You talk, say Peter Obi win the 2015
Very
election.
well.
Interestingly, not only you don't talk this one. I think his vice presidential, his running mate, Datti Baba-Ahmed, being there for Rice Television, immediately after the election, before the Supreme Court case, in fact, before the swearing in their Rice, when he talks, he made they not swear him in, say he never gets everything where he reach to use win the election. And they swear him in. After the swearing in, just a few weeks ago, he still go arise again. He talk and say he maintain the fact, say Peter Obi no win that election credibly. And say a few things will happen. Make I just go play a bit of waiting in talk so that you go feel react to them and tell me what you think, your
You see,
insights
a
on waiting
sworn
in
in
talk. Make I
government
play and may watch.
needs to be and must be consistent
No,
with
the
the
truth is,
Constitution.
Datti
Let,
Ahmed is an
let's just
intellectual and he's my very
yes,
good friend.
let's quickly listen to him so that you have a full perspective of what he's saying. Make you fulfill react to them better, sir.
You see, a sworn in
Thank you, sir.
Okay
government
then.
needs to be and must be consistent with the Constitution of the country. And now, if I were to open the relevant sections to you that we have discussed before, they are at variance with the justice served on Nigeria. So with due respect to the justice system, it is valid to ask, did the custodians of the law do the lawful? And the answer is simply no. We do recognize that the courts have the power to do all and everything, But that all and everything must be justice. The sworn-in Tinubu Shetima government does not strictly comply with the Nigerian constitution as it were today. So it is not out of place for any objective mind to still call it unconstitutional. Mildly, one could say it is questionably constitutional. But then here's the big rejoinder to it. 9 out of 16 Nigerian leaders did not buy INEC forms. Yet they served their terms. One of them 9 years, General Gawan, President Babangida 8 years. Nothing could, they were not consistent with the then written constitution because the constitutions were suspended. The point I'm making is that you could be a president, you could be a head of state, you could be a leader, you could be a dictator, so long as you are allowed to remain there. And the big point here is that Tinubu was allowed and is allowed to remain there, despite the efforts of people like me. You remember my efforts. I called clearly for Tinubu Shetima not to be sworn in, and it was legal, it is legitimate. Up to now. Why? I gave my reasons. Then, did the Nigerian constitution have an alternative to that? Yes, of course, very constitutional. Ahmed Lawal could have served to, I think, 8th or 9th of June. And at the point of electing a new Senate president, he acts out the balance of 90 days during which a second or rerun election was to be held because Tinubu Shetima did not satisfy the demands of the constitution to be sworn in. However, it was allowed. I tried to legitimately form what I called then the Constitutional Crisis Resolution Group. All we had to do was to take 3 documents, the Constitution, INEC results, and the options. Go to Washington, Brussels, London, Addis Ababa, on 29th, occupy Eagle Square. Tinubu will not be there today. And the beauty of stopping injustice is that it will not perpetrate itself. Bad leadership is a virus. What do viruses do? They create more, they become more and more and more. We should have stopped this before it happened, and legitimately so, constitutionally so, irrespective of the powers, the DSS, the police, you simply serve a notice. You see, the word democracy is still having a great deal to be understood. When you have a democracy, it means that at some point in time, the people will come out and be the arbiters themselves. Right now, Nigerian governments are governments because they have the army, they have the police and all those security forces surrounding and protecting them while they misrule. And the Nigerian people have no propensity to really take up their governments. Well, that is the meaning of democracy, that behind the Nigerian army, there is the army of the Nigerian people, whom if you transgress their constitution, they will come out against it. Well, now, bad leadership has realized the incapacity of Nigerians to come together and protect their rights. That is why I told you that if you cannot practice democracy, for God's sake, democracy is not for you. There were the hunger protests about last year also. But when you have 1,000 people doing what 1 million people should do, they will be trampled.
Okay, all right. So, sir, you don't hear waiting Datti Baba-Ahmed talk. I would like me begin react to him. Even though say few things when you talk, say the real for my head. Say if you allow bad leadership to exist, then you will continue to perpetuate itself. You know, and other things in when you talk. But make a first of all let you react to that thing when you talk and how you think, say, we'll for do things better for inside 2023 and how we're going to do them better now in 2027, based on what you just said.
No, let me say that I agree completely with what Datti Baba-Ahmed talk for that. You know, I agree completely with what Datti Baba-Ahmed talk for that. Because even one of the issues that we must take in proper note is that for the first time since 1999, we have never seen a president emerge who did not win Abuja,
Yes,
who did not
correct.
win 25% of the votes in Abuja.
That's
Very
correct.
unfortunately and sadly, what you will get today now a president who did not win 25% of the votes in Abuja. And those are one of the issues when Datti Baba-Ahmed they talk for that interview.
Yes.
You cannot continue to undermine the constitution and say that we're running a democracy. It is wrong. Then number two, what is very important is going forward, because I have been saying to people that we must think about how we will correct some of these errors going forward, because there's a next election in 2027, and I am one of those who have consistently said that Tinubu did not win 2023, and we must consistently raise those issues and ensure that going into 2027, we have a credible electoral umpire. I am also one of those who are saying that the way to a credible umpire is to begin to ask for the removal, the sacking first of Mahmoud Yakub, who superintended over the last electoral larceny and malfeasance when we call 2023 election. Now, when we
He's on his way out, by the way.
push
You're aware,
and
right?
ensure that Mahmoud Yakub is removed, we also begin to push that the new Electoral Act provides for the NJC and the judiciary to be the appointing authority for uh, those who will superintend over INEC. That way, that first word, independent electoral commission, independent, will come alive.
But is it not the
We
same? Sorry,
cannot
sorry,
keep.
sir. Make I catch you on that particular one. Not be the same judiciary where we hear say they for the pockets of some politicians now. So how do you know that the politicians will still not influence that appointment? That's a problem.
No, let me tell you uh, why the judiciary is in a mess today. If you are the president and you are appointing the judges and you are appointing INEC, that means you have given the power to, because there's a popular cliche. It says, He who pays the piper calls the
Take the
tune."
tune.
Is the puppet and the puppeteer scenario. So what we must do as a people is to begin to first, if we're able to truly make the electoral umpire independent, the judiciary will come to terms with the magnitude of powers that it has. Because if the judiciary judges rise from the ranks, and they are the ones who are saying, okay, we want a credible person with integrity, and we're appointing the person to head INEC and to head the state electoral bodies. Then the tendency is for us to gradually begin to reduce the almightiness, quote and unquote, of the central power, the almightiness of the power of the president. And then we move from that to step two, when Justice Uwais uh, headed the committee that made certain provisions or stipulations regarding the amendment of the Electoral Act. They also did talk about the need for uh, the appointment of the Chief Justice of the Federation to also be extricated. It shouldn't be just about the president nominating or sending a name. It should be within the purview of the judiciary itself. We must continue consistently as a people uh, whittle down the powers, quote and unquote, the almightiness of the power of the president. If we're able to do that, we'll find out that one, there will not be do or die politics, and two, the people will be able to say we own some of these people who are going to be conducting the elections. And then one of the other things we must do, which of course was what Datti raised up in that discussion, we must ensure that nobody gets sworn in until the issues regarding the freeness and the fairness of the election are determined by the judiciary. What do I mean? If you go to Kenya, for instance, everything about the election, once it's conducted, the parties are handed over copies of the results. They are handed over all that they need to go to court immediately. And nobody is sworn in until after the court has determined the rightful winner of the election. You know what it does? It will make it impossible for those who stole the mandate of the people to use the money of the people to compromise the judiciary. So what you have is the person who is in power during the election will be there. Then the judges, the courts will determine who truly won before anybody is sworn in for a new term. That is one of the things we must do in the electoral amendment.
Okay. All right. So make we get into the drama of the
You understand what I'm
2020
saying?
election. I
These
do
are the
understand
things
the
we
drama.
must do. We must make it impossible for people to take profit or benefit from cheating, to take profit or benefit from rigging of elections. We must make it impossible. You must prove to the courts and the people that you truly won before you're sworn in.
I totally understand you, and many have also clamored for such too. So in the past, so not be saying that only you just talk and now people don't already talk about them before. But make we enter inside the real drama of the 2023
Hello, I
election.
lost you a bit.
Oh dear, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, sir?
Hello,
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
hello,
Well, I can hear you crystal clear. I don't know if anybody else can hear me from the comment section. Can you
hello,
guys hear
Precious.
me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you very well, and I'm nodding. I can hear you. I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me. I can hear you crystal clear, sir. Oh my goodness. I don't know if anyone else can hear me. Let's just be sure that there's a
Yeah,
communication.
I lost you for a while, but I can hear you now.
All right, great, great, great. So let's get back to it. So back to waiting will go feed for inside 2027 election. Now, there is already
I
an
lost you
agenda.
for a while, but I can hear you now.
All right. Thank you, sir. So make we think of wetin we go do. Who be these candidates that we go fit present for inside 2027 election? We go fit really defend the face of our country and come us for this yama yama we will dey inside. Already, we don't already divide ourselves along ethnic lines. There's already the agitation of whether a southern governor, a southern president, or a northern president. We dey hear say north, they talk say it no matter. Say they must come back to government because say if you look at the present democracy as constituted since 1999, say they don't rule only for a short period of time. Only Buhari now don't do 8 years. Yar'Adua do only 2 years, so they don't already do only 10 years. And at the south now you don't rule past. So because of that, they want to come back to power. Meanwhile, these governors and when they defect from the south, they defect with the years that they talk, say no, Buhari do 8 years. We cannot take power back again to the north. And there are also others who are of the opinion that the only way you can win an election today in Nigeria, now to say make the north with the help of Atiku Abubakar and El Rufai support an Igbo presidency. That is like a Peter Obi, for instance, saying that the only way we use it. I don't know whether you see that Majid Tahiro interview, and that's in book where he say he postulates these things and he don't write them even since they talk and since. In fact, some of the things we in right since 2022 don't come to pass right now. So, what's your opinion? How do we ensure a credible candidate, especially considering the dramas when they go on for political parties? Let's take the drama going on in Labour Party, for instance. Do you see Peter Obi surmounting that drama in Labour Party and emerging a presidential candidate in 2023, 2027? I know there's a subtle delay. Yeah, but you can go ahead and answer me, sir, if you heard me. I think there's a subtle delay.
Make I tell you the truth. The greatest problem with the parties apart from APC, the greatest problem, you dey hear me?
Yes.
The greatest problem with the parties outside the APC, now the influence of the APC. APC is at the core of the problem with the PDP. APC is at the core of the problem with the Labour Party. But now that Nigerians have come to terms with the fact, say, we get to unite to save our country, as we go on towards 2027, you find out that people are beginning to realize that it's beyond the arguments of politicians. Politicians go to tell us, say, um, the North don't rule less time since 1999. Some go to tell us, say, oh, power and rotation between the North and the South. And then you ask yourself, okay, what about the Igbos? Are they not part of this country? How do we truly be? How can we say we're working for justice, equity, and fairness when nobody's factoring them in the political equation? But for me, it is beyond these sentiments. It's beyond ethnicity and religion. It's about where is the best candidate to make the make real the promises of democracy. It's about, because if you look at, okay, before 1999, we people don't rule more for this country. Now they not. Where hunger and poverty they more for this country. Now they not. And as you and I did talk now, when Jonathan was president, how many roads did he tar in the South? And as me and you they talk today, when Buhari was president for 8 years, how did he benefit the North? As you and I they talk, the next question is, now that Tinubu is the president, how has it benefited the masses of our people in the Southwest? So this argument when politicians they make who don't rule for 10 years or who never rule for 15 years, the point is that the Nigerian people must unite around the best candidate for 2027. That's the issue. And those who want to govern must come to the people with a manifesto entrenched on philosophies and policies that will make life better for the people. If they not do them, then the Nigerian people, with what will they do now, will say no to them. We are not interested in whether you are Igbo, Yoruba, or Hausa. We're not interested in whether you're Christian or Muslim. We want the man who truly understands that God has blessed this country with amazing riches, amazing resources and riches ineffable. God has blessed us with so much wealth, and that Nigeria as a country should not have the largest number of poor people in the world. And when we understand that reality, going into 2027, we must begin to tell politicians that what we want to hear is not ethnicity and religion. What we not want to hear is not whether you're Igbo, Yoruba, or Hausa. What we want to see is how you can make this country better. Because come to think of it, where is the policy of Tinubu that will make life better for the people between now and 2027? I told you about waiting the World Bank and IMF talk. Say if care is not taken, if things are not done differently, by this time in 2027, we'll have 10 million more Nigerians added to the poverty bracket. And that's a big, big minus. And then the question is, who will be the person when go fit remove us from this kind of poverty? Not be whether the person na Igbo, Hausa, or Yoruba. We must subject any leader who wants to be president in 2027 to clear debate and forensic analysis of his policies and economic policy,
These
social
politicians keep shunning such
security
debates.
policy,
But
um,
these politicians keep shunning such debates.
defense policy, and we must begin to clearly analyze these issues, because whether we like it or not, if we continue to deceive ourselves as to whether
Yeah, these politicians, you go call for such for such debates. They go
no the
consistently shun
debate
you.
when I
They
they
go
talk
come.
about not be that 1 hour or 2 hours when they go there for TV. It's about putting before the people your manifesto, putting before the people your policy, subjecting, like me and you, they talk now. I'm not running for president. I haven't told you. Yes, their spokespersons and their policy ideologues must explain to the people how these policies will change Nigeria for the better. You don't hear these people, they tell us, oh, we had to remove subsidy so that a few people not going to chop our money. Then you go ask yourself, which is easier? Is it to put more people in poverty, or
Or
to
to stop
get
a few
those
people
few
from.
people and get our money from them and ensure that you purge the corruption in the subsidy? Which is easier? You know, there is nowhere in the world when the greatest policy that impacts the people is thrown to individual forces of business people. Nowhere did they do them. As many they talk to, America prides itself as the lead capitalist nation in the world. America they subsidize agriculture. America, they subsidize power. America, they subsidize a lot of things that affect directly the people. And then they will come with Nigeria where we not get NEPA, we not get water, we not get anything, we not get security. And you're telling us that you cannot subsidize power, you cannot subsidize energy. How now? How you want to make the people take leave? And then the argument is that because the subsidy, now few business people, they benefit from them, they steal our money. Like I said, which is easier? Is it to put more people in poverty or to ensure that you probe the few individuals who have been stealing our money? So I think that the time has come for us to subject those who want to govern us come 2027 to a big, deep forensic interrogation. Where those who do not want to come to a debate, we must subject their policies to public debate. We must ask the media, we must ask both the social media and the terrestrial media, people to tear in terms of analysis their policies. If we had subjected them to deep forensic analysis in 2023, we would have found out that most of the candidates who said in 2023 that they wanted to be president were unfit because they didn't have policies that were expressly interrogated by the economic experts and the people. So
Okay.
going forward, the time has come for us to begin to ask anybody when saying want to be president in 2027 to show us policy articulation when we fit solve the problems when we get now.
Okay. So as I said earlier, make we delve into the internal politics of the political parties. Do you see PDP, Labour Party, the two
Do you
I which
understand me,
now? Do you
Precious?
see these two? I understand you, yes, sir. Do you see these two political parties, PDP and Labour Party, surmounting the challenge they have now and eventually having a presidential candidate in
Hello?
2027? Can you hear me, sir? I think there's a bit of delay, so I really can't. Can you hear me, please? I know there's a bit of delay, and I'm wondering why the network is so bad. It's unfortunate, but the Nigeria now we did. I don't know whether you can hear me, sir. You
Yeah,
can hear
I
me?
think I got the trust.
Okay,
I think I got the trust of that question.
okay. Go ahead, sir, if you can hear me. Unfortunately, we really can't make this as conversational as we want to because of the network issue. But let's just be
Yes,
managing as
I
we
think
can.
I got the trust of that question.
So go ahead, sir.
It is like I said, going towards 2027.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Just go ahead, please. Kindly go ahead.
Yeah, going forward, if we must have nation, if we must have the nation that we truly want, it is beyond whether the PDP or ABGA or Labour Party wants to field candidates. It is important for us to begin to think about how we can get a strong coalition of progressive forces. And here I'm not talking about pseudo progressives, I'm talking about genuine progressives who believe in the ideology of welfareism, who believe that the essence of leadership and governance is to make lives better for our people, who believe that government and governance must protect lives and properties, who believe that we must commit to the well-being of a larger number. And that's what we need. We need a coalition of parties. We need, if they understand, because we have been reaching out to quite a lot of people now, we have been talking to some potential candidates, we have been talking to parties. If they understand the challenge before us, if we can get a measure of these parties to form a strong ideological foundation necessary for political contestation in 2027. We need a strong coalition that will defeat the pseudo progressive party in power, the APC. We need Nigerians to be united in the call for responsible and responsive leadership. We need a nation, uh, a, a nation whose politics is predicated on sound ideology. We need leaders who truly will care about the people and love our nation. Not be these people when their policy and propaganda and their manifesto is about me, myself, and I. If you check wetin dey happen everywhere, not just themselves. The roads across our country is not good. Then go tell you say that they do coastal road from Lagos to Calabar. They'll tell you they want to do another one from Sokoto to Lagos. Then you ask yourself, the old ones when we get, are the roads good? Every day you go hear Umahi they talk. I had I wouldn't call it a privilege of traveling by road from Lagos to the east a few weeks ago because I needed to go for a burial. And on the road, particularly between where you call the Bini bypass, road not good at all. That short space of road, when supposed to take you about 15-20 minutes, takes people about 3-4 hours because the road is very bad. And then you go ask yourself, Umahi go to tell us, say, then they do coastal road, then they do coastal road. The one when they directly impact the people now, they not fit one. So like I said, there's more propaganda in government today than we have ever had it in our historicity. And until the people unite and take power away from these people, this trouble when they everywhere will continue.
Okay, all right. I don't send you a message because of the downtime for the delay for the network. I don't send you a message in terms of my next response. Now, how you take CP to be surmounting this whole thing? Would I will read your message. I send you a message on waiting my next question, please, so that you can fit quickly they react to them. Because the network will not let us communicate in real time, and it's really frustrating. Have you seen my message, sir? Can you check my message? Yes. Okay. So how do you see P2P surmounting this issue with Labour Party? I know you're someone who is in house and
And
you
that's what I'm
understand what's
trying to
happen.
look at now.
And also you know what they happen for in house or inside Labour Party. How you take things say P2P go face surmount this and come out as a candidate for inside Labour Party for 2027, because that is very important. And in terms of the coalition, a lot of people don't come talk saying already dead and they no go anywhere because say Peter Obi no go agree deputize Atiku no go agree step down, carry instruct to support a Peter Obi, and an Erofine may
No,
not
let me tell
necessarily.
you,
So what do you think would happen? Go ahead. It's unfortunate the network is really terrible. But let's see how we can manage. Please bear with us. Sincere apologies. I want to believe that this may not be my network. It may be
no, let me
Roger.
say very clearly that all these people, when they talk like say them be God, they will be put to shame. The truth is that as you and I they talk now, there are efforts to resolve the contradictions in the Labour Party. Can you hear me now?
Crystal clear. I can hear you, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, 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 yes. If I know the yes, I can hear you. Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, but
Yes.
I'll make you a promise, God willing. By this time next week, I'll be in Lagos. Mm. Yeah, but going forward, let me say that those when they talk like say now them get tomorrow. Those when they talk say those when they talk say now them get tomorrow, like say now them be God, will be put to shame because the challenge before the Nigerian people is beyond the Labour Party or the PDP. It's about statesmen uniting and forming a strong coalition to sack the party that has a blood-stained mandate. It's about people uniting to sack a party that is consistently, if what we go call them now, more talk, all talk, no action. It's about people uniting to take back their country for good. So it's beyond whether the things say Atiku go deputize or whether Obi go deputize. No, the challenge before us, you go find out that most of these contradictions will be resolved within the next 2-3 months. We're engaging and talking across platforms. We're engaging and talking across tendencies because the life of our nation and the safety and the well-being of our people is bigger than any individual. And so the APC is caught in politics. We are concerned about the salvation of our country. The APC is thinking about electoral victory. We're thinking about redemption of our country. And any price, any sacrifice that is necessary to redeem our country, we're all committed to it. And we will have a coalition of forces that will defeat the APC. We'll have a coalition of forces that puts the Nigerian people first. And I want to assure you, Precious, that in the next few weeks, you will begin to see so many of these things that I'm talking about. It is not about Atiku, it's not about Erufai, it's not about Obi, it's about all of us working together to redeem our country.
Okay, so there's also an issue of Western interference in Nigerian politics or in African politics generally. If you can hear me, how you think, say, even that Messiah will come together, come vote, go fit some mount that issue of Western interference, and to make sure, say, our natural resources, the resources we God give us, remain to us, and to curb all this induced chaos and katakata, we be say that because of our natural resources, because this is a big thing. And you know, say if international community know, say this person will give us problem, they no go agree support that person to win. And that is very serious issue. So what do you think we can do?
No, no, we're at that point in our history as a people, as nations, and as a continent. We're at that point in history where leadership understands that it must serve the cause of the people, not necessarily international influence and interest. We're at that point. That is why the young boy who is in charge in Burkina Faso has become so popular because he's saying to his people, service must be, governance must be responsible first to you before any interest. And I want to say here clearly, Precious, that
Sir?
there is a pan Africanism that is growing everywhere in Africa. And there is a pan Nigerianism that's emerging amongst our young people. The Gen Z people are rising up and are challenging for power. And I want to say, with every sense of confidence and faith in the future, that Africa will break the bounds of dependence on Western influence and interventions in what affects us. We will deal with the West with African interests as a basis of our engagement, not Western interests. And these are the present tendencies that are rising up across Africa. And that is why you have people in Africa across climes who are defending, praying for, and protecting the interests of leadership in Burkina Faso, in Mali. I'm not sympathetic of military rule. But what is important is that we must understand that the prevalent tendency and sentiment in Africa is Africa for Africans. And that tendency is growing and is going to be very strong, and it will play a very strong role in determining who becomes the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria come 2027.
All right, so just while I open the phone lines, let me quickly let Nigerians know that this conversation is open. You can chime in. I know that a lot of you have questions to ask Professor Chris. You people have been buzzing and wanting to join in the conversation, so you can quickly join in to ask questions. Click on the link on the pinned post, and it will direct you straight into the studio, so you can ask your questions, and we'll let him out as soon as he responds to your questions. You can also call the WhatsApp line 0817 029 4077. 0817 029 4077. Before our people begin to join, they're already joining in. Before our people begin to jumping on the conversation, now 2027 election, a lot of people believe say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu dey unbeatable. They know if he defeat am, say because na master strategist. Some people don't talk say that can only be if we remain for this level where we dey, where our election they ever dey free and fair. Say if election dey free and fair, truly they go beat am. Do you see President Bola Ahmed Tinubu being beaten in 2027 election? And how can we do that? Do you see Nigerians or any opponent we go get ready to match am aura for anything we sabi do am back to use make sure say they win? And I get the capacity to use do am, especially now when being given.
If
That
we
is the matter. Go ahead.
if we organize,
Hmm.
if we coalesce, if if we form a strong coalition of ideologues and people who truly believe that governance and leadership must be responsible and responsive to the people, uh, before 3 p.m. on election day in 2027, uh, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be packing his things and admitting that he has lost the election. There's nothing in this presidency, there's nothing in the APC that calls for people to re-elect this president. No, there's nothing. From economy to security, from security to promises and commitment of governance to serving the people. There's nothing eventful about this presidency. And so all that is necessary is for the Nigerian people to organize and unite and get a strong candidate that has a sellable manifesto and programmatic, an agenda that will work for the good of our people. If we're able to unite and work together and produce that leader, Tinubu will be roundly defeated in 2027. I'm confident about that. I am not talking as a politician. I'm talking as one who understands political engineering and who understands that if we can galvanize the people like we did in 2023, if we also can ensure that we have a new electoral act that allows that will engender transparency in the electoral process very clearly and easily, Tinubu and the APC will be roundly defeated in 2027.
All right, thank you so much. Let me open the phone lines. I have lots more questions to ask, but let me let Nigerians do the asking. So you do the answering. Hello, good evening, and welcome. Mr. Tony Chukwuode, how are you? Welcome, sir.
I'm good.
Welcome.
You see, I'm just praising you, and I'm praising the professor. Precious.
Sir?
You see how he is talking. You know, there is this saying: say, if you want to talk to the people, speak the language they understand.
Mm-hmm.
You can see how, as a professor, he's not here blowing grammar like some of them that you are. You see the way he's using pidgin English to talk to the common people. When you listen to the parliament, UK parliament, they use the simplest English for everybody to understand it. But some of them, when you listen to them, I was so happy the time I noticed that he will be the one coming on your show today. I always listen to him anytime on any station that he is, because he is the hammer on the nail. So you see the way he's just using the pidgin, breaking it in detail one by one. Please, sir, please, professor, if I don't know how I wish I can see you face to face. Please, you said that you'll be in Lagos. We were ready to listen to you more. Please, we are waiting when the network will be good. That's all I want to say.
Thank you so much. I don't know if you heard that. Did you hear that? Did you hear that, sir? Did you hear that, sir? They said they're waiting for you to come to Lagos when the network will be good, and they say they like as you carry pidgin English. They break matter
Yes,
down.
I
Okay. All right.
heard
So let me
most
let
of
her.
what he said. Yes.
All right. So let me let Pansa speak. Pansa, good evening and welcome. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
No,
No, no
I go try
controversies.
come so that we'll go sit down for studio talk about this issue. Yeah.
No wahala, sir. No controversies, Pansat. Please, just go straight to the point. You know
All
now.
right.
So
Thank
that I'll
you.
not go wear
Well,
boxing gloves. Thank
no
you.
controversy. I don't make it. It depends on the truth where it goes. But I want to welcome Mr. Mokobia to your show. I commented on the comment section that Mr. Mokobia is an orator. Not everybody have the gift of eloquence and magniloquence, actually, in this case, rhetoric and all that stuff. So the last caller is right, but he shouldn't expect everybody to speak like that, even if they went to school. Now, I have to make one little concern, which is, as I'm a Biafran, I'm from the southeast, and when I see a name, when I see like Wokobia, I see Precious.
No,
No, hold
Oga,
on.
speed. No, no, sir. No, Pansat. We're not doing that today. We're speaking straight to the conversation. You and I cannot do that today. Please.
No,
This is not the time for
don't,
division
please,
or doing
please.
that. No, not on this show. No way. You will not do that to me. Ibiakwa.
No,
You have
I
come.
believe that.
I am ready for
Hold on,
you. You know.
hold on. You don't know what I'm about to say. What was I going to say?
And you are already. I don't know what you want to say. Speak to the. Forget about ethnicity.
No,
Whatever
you
it
have
is you
no
want to
idea what
say.
I'm going to say.
You already mentioned that you're Biafran. That means you're already dragging us towards ethnic
No,
line.
but that's what I am. You don't want me to tell you I'm a Biafran if I'm a Biafran? What kind of nonsense is that? Please don't interrupt.
Goodness.
You know I could be your
You and
father,
I
right?
know what you're capable of. No, you can't
No,
be
no,
my father.
no,
No, you
no,
don't even say that. Grandfather could as well be your senior. You can't say.
no,
So
no,
please don't
no,
say
no.
you could be my father. No, don't
No,
say that.
maybe that's why you're behaving that way. As an African woman, you have to respect your elders. I'm an old man. I was in the Biafran War, for example. So now let me go
Do you
to.
know if I witnessed the Biafran war?
You can let's respect the guest, because this is somebody
Go ahead, please.
who not only do I like his oratory and all that, but he has democratic bona fides. Mr. Wokobia, in our country right now, we could say whatever we want. You've already highlighted the key things. The judiciary is captured. We don't have a judiciary. So no matter what happens, it has to go to the courts to be adjudicated, because the Supreme Court is the apex court. So no matter what we do, even if you write anything, if it's challenged and it goes to the courts, they could just strike it out as unconstitutional. So what I was suggesting is that instead of us talking and talking, we do have to do something extra constitutional to take back the country, right? There is because of the craftiness of those who did this, there is no way you could bring semblance of democracy back where the people who are sovereign could pick their leaders and do this and do that without extrajudicial measures. I say that in conclusion to say that it wasn't Tinubu who rigged the last election. It was Buhari and INEC and northern governors. That's who rigged the election. So everything else that Mr. Tinubu is doing now, he's already fouled his relationship with those people. So the only thing he's counting on, believe it or not, is that Supreme Court. Something has to be done about that, not just INEC, fine, but the Supreme Court is everything else he's doing is a charade, it's a game he's playing, sending people chasing that, for example, defections and this and that. His whole thing is that Supreme Court is going to translate whatever comes out of the activity. So what would you say is that medicine? What is that we have to do to thwart the Supreme Court from adjudging things to be unconstitutional or naming a winner, picking winners and losers? Thank you.
Go ahead, sir. Yes, there's a bit of delay, I'm sure. But did you hear what he said? Did you hear his question, sir? Did you hear his question, sir?
Hello, Precious, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Did you hear his question?
Can you hear me? I heard him. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yes,
I
we
heard
can
his
hear.
question, and
Yes, go
I
ahead.
align with most of his sentiments. Let me say clearly here that when can you hear me?
Very well. Very well. Go ahead, sir. Very well.
Yeah,
Please go
I align largely with his sentiments. I align largely with his position, and that is why what we're saying is that the time has come for us to organize rather than agonize. The time has come for people's action, people's mobilization. The time has come for us to begin to work together as a people, because I said here that the power of the people is mightier and stronger than the people in power. Um, all over the world, it is about the people's power that transforms nations. It is not about a few individuals who control the levers of the executive or the judiciary. And with what is happening across our country, we're beginning to push, particularly with uh, the Supreme Court not being definite about uh, what should happen to people who decamp with mandates that otherwise constitutionally and as provided in the Electoral Act that belongs to the political party. People will take it and move to another party. The Supreme Court must make definite statements on such abnormalities. And instead of dancing like they're doing with River State or dancing like they're doing with several other, you cannot move with mandates granted you or given to you by the people to another party without um, having the constitutional provisions or meeting the provisions of the constitution regarding such issues. So the judiciary must come alive. But how can we get the judiciary to come alive? It's about the people's action. Um, it was Martin Luther King Jr. who said a long time ago that disobedience of an unjust law is not, in actual fact, the greatest respect for the law. uh, we must begin to look at how a people's action, a people's power is channeled at taking back our country for good. It's one of the things that Pat Utomi talked about when he muted the idea of a 7.2 million people's march to Abuja. And when my brother and friend Shore talked about revolution now and some of the things that we're doing about the need for a people's coalition to take back our country for good. And save and accept that is done. Power is not given a la carte. Save and accept that is done. Nobody will just wake up and make leadership responsible and responsive to the people. The people must demand, through proactive action, responsible and responsive leadership.
Okay, Answers, you have further questions to ask? Answers.
Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. Let me say that
Did you get that?
yes, yes, I agree with you. A more pointed development that we should consider. I believe that maybe next time that we meet, it's what are we gonna do about the Supreme Court? Now, the court, when the last real Supreme Court justice we had was Justice Onegin from the South. He was removed illegally by Buhari without the requisite two-thirds vote in the Senate, and then was replaced with the palm wine tapping Sharia Chief Justice, who then resigned, and then we have the one, and then we have Tinubu put somebody. Now, Precious, we're in trouble in that country. This is you're not going to be having a very pristine, what do you call it, politically correct conversation when we're in trouble and we're trying to call a spade a spade. I'm a gentleman. I'm not a politician. I could be doing something else. My time is worth a lot of money, by the way. So, but I'm doing this because we have to call a spade a spade. We have to get out of the situation
Answer,
we're
that's
in.
okay. I haven't stopped you from doing that. So
Yeah.
we should just go straight to the point so that
No,
others
I'm
can
going to
jump
the
in.
point, and
Yeah,
these are the
others queued
crucial
up
points. Yeah,
to
that's
chime in
I'll
and
be
speak as
done.
well.
I'll be done in a minute or two here. There's something I'm gonna promise you anytime I come on this program. I will always tell you the truth. I will not embellish anything. I will not do propaganda. I will not disrespect your show by doing that. But I will have to
And
tell
my
you the truth.
name sounds like propaganda, right? Because I'm
No, but
precious.
you say that many
Because
times, and I
it's
like
P.
that.
So my name is propaganda.
I like when you say that. I have a lot of respect for Mr. Chris Wokobia. This is the first time I've seen his middle name. I'm not really happy about that. I don't know, Mustafa. But what we're gonna do, I will let you go on with your show, and then next time we're gonna have to deal with that Supreme Court. That's the only problem we have. The problem is not INEC, because INEC could do whatever they want, right? If INEC rigs the election, they will go to the courts. Then the court's going to say, rerun the election, or do this or do that. Once we have a good Supreme Court that is for justice, that respects our constitution, respect the people. Everything else doesn't matter, because you could try to rig the election, but if people have the evidence, they go to the Supreme Court, then it's going to be annulled or Iran. So we have to, there's no country in the world that's going to operate without a correct Supreme Court that does judicial review as its main role. That this job right there is to look at precedents, do judicial review according to the constitution of the country. You cannot be a country if you don't have that. It's like a bunch of animals when you don't have that. So I thank him. I have a lot of respect for him. He's an orator, but more importantly, his democratic bona fides is in order. So I congratulate you for bringing him here. And if you have no further stuff, I would then let others speak. I don't know why you're picking on me. I'm on your side. I'm truly on your side. I mean, I'm for women's rights.
Okay,
I'm for,
thank you.
I'm
Thank
for
you.
for our country. So I should be on your side.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You're
I
welcome.
deeply appreciate
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Prof, I'm so sincere apologies. I think we lost you for a while. Thank you so much. So I don't know if you can react to some of the questions I already sent to you. I sent you a screenshot of some questions already. And then there are other people who are calling and who want to ask you a few questions. I don't know if you can just attend to them in 10 minutes maximum. Let's just pile up all the questions at once and then you just respond to all of them at once. Hello, good evening and welcome. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Mr. The Precious.
Sir, you're welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Just go straight to the point.
This is Mr. Lucky. I'm calling from France.
Okay, go ahead. From France. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Prof. Chris.
He can hear you.
I just want to ask a question to Mr. Chris.
Okay, what's the question?
Yeah, the question is that, to me, with what happened, let me start from Imo State Governor.
Kindly summarize. Kindly summarize, please, because we don't have time. We'll have to let him
that's
go.
what I'm trying, because I want to break it so that he can understand what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Because what I'm trying to say now is that with what happened to PDP in Imo State, when the Supreme Court passed judgment, they asked the fourth person to become governor. Then that is aside. Then another thing that still happened again, that is making me to feel like this, is that Mr. Obi article, then I don't know, Rufai. To me, the situation we find the country today is a situation that, to me, I'm believing that even those three people cannot even handle the country, even though after the election that any of them meant to be the president, because the country has become so very, very bad. So we need somebody who is ready, like, to sacrifice himself to the country, like this Burkina Faso man, who will not fear, because it looks like the people who come to the presidency in that place, it looks like there is other forces that is working, that is always want to control them. To me, is it not a good thing that those people who are coming are the people who's really ready?
Are you pushing for military coup? Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm not referring to that man, the kind of heart he has. I'm not referring to military. We need a president that's somebody who can probe the past government. Because without probing the past government, you will see that whatever effort that the new president is going to make, if the bad people is going to make the effort useless. That is what I'm trying to say. Because in 2015, when Buhari was trying to come, everybody was believing that Buhari is coming to probe many past government.
Thank
it's
you,
still,
thank you.
it's a,
So
still it's
I
not
think
a
I think I
foundation.
think I think we're kind of jumping the gun here. I don't even understand because there has to be an election that is successful before you start probing any government. So when you never get a
That is
credible
what I'm trying
election,
to
how
tell
you
you.
won't begin probe
What I'm
any
trying to
government?
tell you, yes, there must be an election,
It's
but what
okay.
I'm
It's
trying
it's
to
okay.
tell you that
Let's not argue over this. All right. Let's quickly
it didn't
talk
get
to
in the
others.
Joshua, they can have the heart to do this kind of thing because without it, you cannot, you just like pouring water in the basket.
Okay. I appreciate your opinion. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
I appreciate
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think I lost my guest again, and we just have to let him wrap up, and so that would go. More calls are coming in. Let's see if we can take all of those at a time. Hello, good evening, and welcome. We can do video call here. You can join through the link, or you can just do an audio conversation. So go ahead, sir. Hello. Good evening. Can you call audio so that we can hear you? You'll be more audible. Can you call via audio? Thank you, sir. All right. Thank you so much. I think a few of your reactions, there are quite a lot of them here. Let's see how many of them we can quickly attend to. And then we just wrap up. Hello, good evening, and welcome. Hello, good evening. Good evening. Hello,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes. Every time. Good evening.
Good evening, and welcome.
Yeah. Good evening, Prof.
He can hear you. Just go ahead, sir.
Okay. I hear Prof say so many things about our election coming up in 2027,
Mhm.
you know. But no matter how we're going to do it, Tinubu will still rig that election, which I'm very sure of, you know. He will rig and he's going to win them hands down because the system is not changed. For Nigeria to to get a very credible election, they have to change the way the election is run in that country. Nigeria is a vast country, very big country, with little technology to handle all the elections. You know, like in Nigeria, we have over 120,000 electoral units or something like that. So, I was talking to a friend 4 days ago, and he made a suggestion. The only way Nigeria can go with the election is by 36 states out of the whole country. The election is not going to take place in one day. If they have to make it, the Nigerian people will say, okay, INEC, we are going to conduct the election every Saturday, maybe one or one half one, every Saturday, 6 states, so that the media can cover it up. People, all the political parties will have their agency on the ground, you know. But if we have to carry one election in one day, we will still remain the same old school we are hearing today.
Okay, so
That is what I
perhaps
want
this
to
may be
ask.
part of the reforms that would be seeking for, during the
Yeah, that is what I want
electoral
to ask
reform.
for. If there is anything like that, they can do something like that to take place, you know.
Oh, all
You
right,
know?
all right. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right. Yeah. Okay. Who's this now? Okay, hi Precious. Darlington here from Johannesburg. Yeah, Darlington. Hi, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you. Hi Precious. Are you no longer with No, I am not with VOP anymore. I am here, right here now. That's all. I've got other commitments, so I needed to take a break from mainstream media. I appreciate you guys. Okay, I see all your calls, I see all your comments, I see all your reactions. It's already almost 2 hours to the show, and I appreciate all of you for joining in the conversation. Let's see. Hello, good evening, and welcome. Ike Chisholm. Mr. Ike, you're welcome. Go ahead.
My sister, God bless you.
God bless you too. Welcome. Where did you say you're calling from? Somewhere in the middle of Europe, right? Somewhere between Europe, Asia, and America. There's somewhere.
I,
As a country you mentioned, but a
no,
very unfamiliar terrain. Go
I
ahead.
am between. I am in the Caribbean. I'm between the Caribbean and the U.S. Just in between, man. That's
All
where
right.
I'm
You're
calling
welcome.
from, right?
What's the name of the
Ah,
country precisely?
Island of Bonaire. I think I told you the other
Okay,
day.
Brunei. Brunei. Yeah. Go ahead,
Yes.
please.
Yeah. I've been listening to Professor. He's a man I always like to listen, and I just wanted to say thank you for all he did in 2023, the sacrifices people like him made for us to have give about a new Nigeria. And I'm so happy also that he has not given up. He's still into it. And I just wanted to appreciate him to say that a lot of people appreciate people like him, what they did in 2023. And I'm hoping that all of us will do more this year, 2027 or before 2027. Those that we can be able to give about a new Nigeria. So I know that you're running out of time. I just wanted to say, to tell him thank you for his sacrifices and all his effort. That people like us in Nigeria around the world are appreciative of what he did in 2023 for the obedient movement to take over Nigeria. But we are not giving up hope, you know. So for me not to delay you, I know you want to round up. Just I wanted to appreciate him and
Thank you
also
so
to appreciate you for what you do, right? Uh, God bless you. Most of the time it's time different because this place is by now is around 2:25 here in the afternoon here. So
much. Oh
in
wow.
Nigeria is
It's 7:26 p.m. here.
so you can see sometimes like today it's supposed to be holiday, but I'm working. So you see,
Oh.
this is the difference between Nigeria and when you are in diaspora. You
Oh
work
no,
every day.
don't tell me that. I work every day myself too. When I was in mainstream media, I work every day. And now that I'm not in mainstream media, I still work every day because the kind of job I do, because I work remotely, I get to work every day too. So I mean, at the same boat, carry all of us.
I'm happy. God
Thank
bless
you.
you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. So, Blessing, you did ask a question here where you said, so what do the masses do when they are rigged? Is we should be talking about. Yes. So and that was a question I was driving at, with that Datti Baba-Ahmed's conversation. I was driving at that. But hopefully Prof has assured us that he's gonna be with us next week, Thursday. Hopefully. So we
Okay.
do hope for him to rejoin us by Thursday next week. And then we revisit some of these conversations because we won't stop talking because as we talk, we'll spread the awareness. We'll talk, we'll spread the awareness so that we know what we can do and what we have to do to get our country
Exactly.
functioning. Thank you
Exactly.
so much, Mr. Ike. I appreciate you. Thank you so much
So,
for joining
thank
us.
you.
Thank you. All right, so straight to some more conversation. Greeting, Pastor Ike. Someone is greeting you, Ike, and that's Antonio Okonta. Blessing, you are right, but we need electronic voting, is what we beat the rigging. Even with electronic, even like say you don't understand something, people will go. You think they don't have tech people? Did you hear the kind of tech people that were hired into the country during 2023 election? Did you hear that statement about the bad tech guys that came into the country weeks before the election? Ah, okay. No, Joval is not here. Joval is on terrestrial. Unfortunately, I can't even get in contact with Joval again because he used to be my terrestrial audience. I'm sure he misses me and I miss him too. Anybody who can get him, please point him to this platform so he can come here and let's chat a little bit. Yeah. Hi, it's Joval here. I don't know. Is this you, Jovia? Joval? I don't think this is here. All right. Thank you to everyone. I appreciate you guys. I love you so immensely. Thank you for jumping in on this conversation. Thank you for your reactions. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for always believing in me. And as I did say, I am going to be doing a giveaway this month as we mark 10,000 subscribers. So I'll be giving out something to about at least 5 to 10 people. I'm still making up my mind. If you know anyhow, if you know modalities we can put in place to ensure we get winners, please kindly let me know. But I want this to reach to people who are really hungry. I'm very passionate about giving out to people who really need it. So if you're in the abroad, you can win for somebody that is in a remote village that is really hungry or somebody that is in township that hunger is wearing because that little 5, 10 to 20,000 or whatever it is I'll give would go a long way to provide a day or two food on their table. And that is what I want to do to reach out the little way I can. I'll talk about that much later. I'm still looking at ways that I can make that happen. So we'll look at that very much. And I want to thank all of you who joined this platform. Thank you for growing our community. And as I did ask again the other time, I would really love your reaction on ways I can serve you better. So first of all, I love your reaction, your ideas, your knowledge, your feedback on what I am doing. So make I know how you think I'm. What's your feedback on what you think I'm doing so far? I don't have much time to do what I can do here because I have other commitments. I work too. This is not a job. right? It's just my me giving back to Nigeria. So I have other commitments too. But if you have any way, if you think there's anything we can do to better what I do here, so that we can continue to reach out and talk about the growth and development of our nation and how we can take our nation back, please kindly let me know on ways you can do that. And I really appreciate you guys. I think somebody has just joined me. Let's see if we can have him quickly jump in his thoughts. Hello, good evening, and welcome.
Hi, Precious. How are you?
Is this Jobal?
He's hiding
No.
his face. He's the one.
Joval, how did you find me? I just mentioned you now and you came. Hi, Joval. How are
Hi,
you?
I'm fine, doing great.
I missed you
So,
from radio. You miss me too because I hear your voice loud and
yeah,
clear.
yes, I
But you did
did. I
not look
did.
for me. You did not
I
look for
look.
me. That's not fair
I
now.
found you on Facebook streaming live there somehow. Then I heard
Uh,
you moved to TVC or something. I messaged you, you didn't reply.
no, I did not move to TVC. I was interviewed as a guest on remote work, which
Oh,
is what I do. I run a remote. I run a company that does remote services. Remote work for
you look
people.
great.
Thank you. Good to hear you. Good to hear from you, Joval. We missed
Hey,
you.
I just came on now to say hi. So next time I'm going to
Oh yeah,
join
go
your
back. Oh
program.
yeah, run back to your headquarters. I know you're going to go back to headquarters. Oh yeah, go back to
You know
headquarters. Eh?
the headquarters. Don't mention it.
I'm not mentioning. I'm not mentioning. Thank you so
Something
much,
is
Joval.
going on there. So I'm going to be back soon. Yeah. Hi,
Thank
good to
you.
see you.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Bye, Joval. All right. You people can be jealous. Sha. Who is this? Thank you. I like share, please. Thank you so much, Lionheart. I love you. Thank you so much. And Passat says, and I didn't get this kind of welcome. Passat, don't worry. Next time, I go tie rapper dance. I go dance at Tilogo when next is join. Would that make you happy? Nice job, Precious. Thank you so much. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I see you again tomorrow afternoon. Oh, tomorrow evening is Friday. So as usual, it's gonna be a full house. Oh, before I forget, let me quickly remind you, it was Barrister Sim Adams' birthday today. Oh my god, how can I forget? One of my guests who's been so selfless, even though son they give and boost well, but he's been one of my very regular and very sound guests that I have on this show, and he's been so amazing to me. So you guys please help me wish him happy birthday. I beg you. And I'm going to put it up in the platform so that you guys can help me wish him happy birthday. It was his birthday today, and Hugh, I like to wish him a very happy birthday and to thank him for being an amazing man. And he'll be joining us tomorrow, hopefully live on the show. Him alongside Prince Francis Chilaka and Ekene will be joining the show tomorrow evening. So today is your birthday, Barrister Asim Adams. Wishing you all the best. Wishing you more life, more grammar like Ogbehebu, your brother, and more knowledge, more wisdom. And all of us here at Precious in TV, all of us here, we appreciate you. Even those when they give you basketballs, I know say they love you somehow for their belly. Even though say they say be wicked man, I know say they love you for their belly. And we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Tomorrow evening we'll be joined with Prince Francis Chilaka, Barrister Sim Adams, and Mr. Ikenobi. It promises to be a fantastic conversation tomorrow evening. Do enjoy the rest of your day. I love you guys. Protect your mental health, though, because Wahala need to finish. As we fight, we live, we'll fight again, right? Fight and run the fight and run.